This tidbit of news, I'm gonna be honest, has me a little bit concerned. So Michael Waldron, the writer of Loki season one, the writer of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, has been tapped and is set to write the script for Avengers Secret Wars. Now, given how Loki, not saying Loki turned out bad, okay, Loki was all right.
I thought Loki
Multiverse of
was fire.
Madness,
I thought Loki
Multiverse
was
of
fire.
Multiverse of Madness. Eh. Now, that's why I'm concerned. I'm not concerned because of what he did with Loki, but I'm more concerned with how Multiverse of Madness turned out and how he wrote around that big old multiversal plot. You know, Secret Wars is something that's major. It's gonna have implications literally on every universe. It's like I just don't feel like the man can kind of tackle that. When Multiverse of Madness is really testing the waters, if you really want to think about it, and it kind of didn't deliver. So I don't know. I'm a little scared about this news and the fact that he's writing this script.
Whoa.
But maybe Marvel knows something I don't know.
I'm cool with it.
Exactly. I'm like, I loved the hell out of Loki.
I love the hell out of Loki. I thought was fire.
Yeah, I mean, Loki was
I thought Loki was fire.
Yeah,
Loki was alright. Like I said, I'm not saying Loki was.
You keep
bad.
saying all right. I thought it was fire.
It was all right. It was all right. I'll say it was all right.
Yeah. No, I loved it. So yeah, there's 2 against 1 here, so I'm just throwing it out there.
But I'll stay in the minority. I have no problem.
Exactly, it's fine. When it comes to Multiverse of Madness, I think
I enjoyed
when
it.
It was on high. It was on high, but there was a few lows. Obviously, there was a few lows, but that's like any bigger movie and everything. Obviously, had the way that he played Wanda. That I don't. Again, we don't also know where the rumor happens. We don't know how much the director gets to say and cut shit out and everything and do other stuff. Right. We don't know where freaking the mouse cuts, brings down Excalibur and shit, fucking slices that thing in half or whatever. We won't know until later on in the process, or we find out that, hey, guess what? We got a new writer for Secret Wars because such and such is creative differences and such. That's always what's going to end up happening. If he's not up to the challenge, if he's not giving a script that seems like Kevin Feige is going to be like, hey, this is it. You know what I mean? I think we could run with this.
Well, I even feel like even Kevin, like, yeah, okay, I'm cool for people, Kevin Feige letting these creatives, whether it be, writers, directors, create, let them create, let them bring their flavor. But it comes to a point where, a lot of people complain about studio meddling and all that stuff. I mean, in some instances, when it comes to certain movies, the studio meddling is needed. Like Thor: Love and Thunder, for example.
They didn't meddle enough, and that was the problem.
Was a case in point in which you need to kind of meddle.
They should have.
Quick notice on that.
Go ahead.
I still almost disagree that they should have, because at the end of the day, though I would have wanted a different movie, I don't know, I just feel like still at the end of the day, it's they should be letting these guys have a lot more freedom. They probably should have, there should have been more approval in the beginning part of it, at least with the script and stuff like that. But in general, I don't know, I still think if they fail, they fail. I know we want every movie to be a banger, but sometimes you have to try something new to see that it doesn't work. I don't necessarily
want every movie to be a banger. I don't want every movie to be a banger.
Sometimes things won't work though, and
I just
Thor:
know
Love and Thunder didn't work.
For example, going back to Love and Thunder, since I finally watched it a while back. This is there was serious storylines there. You know what I'm saying? That really didn't.
Did you say storylines? Did you
storylines.
Oh, I understood.
I thought you said storylines.
Yeah, I heard storylines. I
was no, storylines. If I said storylines,
I thought you just stuttered. Okay,
storylines. Yeah.
No, you can say storylines. No, I'm fine with that too. Actually,
no, I mean it kind of works.
Hashtag. Yeah. Hey, some storyline.
But yeah, there were some serious storylines. With Jane, Gore and stuff like that. That just honestly didn't really hit as well as it should have, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
And that's all due really to the writing. I'm not critiquing the direction of the movie because it's beautifully shot. It is probably one of the better shot Thor movies since probably the initial Thor, and since Ragnarok even. Whatever. There's some cool scenes in Ragnarok. There's some really cool scenes in the first Thor movie. But yeah, story wise, it just didn't hit. So when it comes to like big movies like that have like big storylines, and then something like Secret Wars that you have kind of been leading, which is all of the combination of all of Phase 4 and Phase 5. This is such a huge like ship to kind of guide and navigate. And someone who's really kind of stumbled a little bit with a multiversal story, as small scale as it was, or as already, yeah, I think you will need to be a little concerned when you task them with tackling such a massive story like Secret Wars. You know what I'm saying?
So we got to also take into consideration they might not make it in the scale that we hope, and that's one of the biggest fears that it could be, because of the fact that right now they're just slowly expanding the universe. Right, Secret Wars could turn out to be technically the Skrull and Kree war itself. You know what I mean? It can actually just be,
it could
more
be
of
smaller
that.
scale. Yeah,
You know what I mean? They can literally screw us with what the original Secret Wars was. You know what I mean? Or they could even go like a cheaper route and just be like all these little CGI moments of everybody just like what we know from the comics, and then just focus on this one world. You know what I mean? So it's like they can they could fuck us like very easily. You know what I mean? For what we wanted, like, you know what I mean, from what we're like us comic book fans want and what we've read, they can do completely the opposite. You know what I mean? Because right now, as we can see, obviously the mutants are just about to come in. You know what I mean? Technically, Wanda hasn't been said that she's a mutant yet. Kamala Khan, she's not inhuman anymore. You know what I mean? It's like none of this is canon to the comics. You know what I mean? This is the MCU itself.
Yeah, obviously.
You know what I mean? But
I try not to look back at the source material and be like, well, this is what I want, because I know at the end of the day, I can read the source material all I want. I might not. I'm lucky if I get even a callback to what happens in the comic books.
And also with how grand scale,
we have we have Namor literally in a Speedo and wings on his feet. So we got something.
Yeah.
We're getting stuff.
But to what Ed was saying, like, it is like the event is such a grand scale. It is kind of hard to condense all of that into a 2-hour and 45-minute movie. Yeah. So who knows what kind of how big or small the scale will be of that movie and its consequences and repercussions and everything. Because like no matter what story you tell, they got like maybe 2 hours and 50 minutes tops to tell it. It's a long movie, but that's not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things.
I would assume the Avengers ones will hit almost 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Yeah,
they need to.
100%.
Like, that's the only way that makes sense, especially if they're going to have a whole cast at least, like compared to everything.
So you're looking at between 2 hours and 50 minutes and 3 hours.
Secret Wars, if they go in the scale of Endgame at least, because I think going back to the scale of how they do things, I think we'll get something close to Endgame scale, like that third act of Endgame. I think they can probably go a little bit bigger than that in terms of scale. Nothing as grandiose as they did in the comics. You might need a 5-hour movie for that, or you might just have to split it into 2 parts again, like you did in Infinity War.
Infinity War.
And I don't think they're gonna. I think having Kang Dynasty and then having Secret Wars is essentially one giant Avengers film, literally just split into parts. They just didn't announce it as part 1. Part 2, you're gonna get Kang first, fucking up the multiverse. It's all gonna culminate in Secret Wars, and then there goes your big bang, essentially. So
wait, I thought it was Secret Wars and then Kang Dynasty.
Is it?
I thought it was Kang then.
No, I think it was Kang first and then Secret Wars.
Where was the one after that though? Wait, there was only 2 Avenger movies, right? These both? Okay, well, whatever comes first, I guess. Like I don't know. I feel like Secret Wars would make
Kang
more
Dynasty
sense.
comes out. Kang Dynasty comes out May 2nd, 2025. Okay. Let me see. Secret Wars. They both come out the same year, but Kang Dynasty comes out first in May, and then Secret Wars drops.
2 Avengers movies in the same year? Damn.
Yeah. So
Small
May
scale.
2nd, 2025. May 2nd, 2025 is King Dynasty.
Okay.
And then November 7th, 2025 is Secret Wars. So yeah,
I mean, and I'm sure a
essentially,
lot of these things
that's
get
your
moved
part
around.
one and your part two.
I'm sure a lot of these things get moved around too.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I really got for Michael Waldron. I'm just concerned. I'm very hesitant to be excited about this news
I'm
because
concerned with everything, dude. I don't care. You know what I mean? Obviously,
So
like we're gonna be
concerned.
like, I was like, you're gonna do like Ragnarok again. I'm like, and it sucks because I'm like, I love Taika, man. I fucking love a lot of the shit he produces and the
Taika is
directs. He's amazing,
Taika
dude.
is great, and this is no knock at Taika. It's just like
No.
that's his comedic sensibility. It just doesn't work for everything
Yeah.
in the MCU. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a time and place for that
Yep.
that comedic sensibility.
Yeah.
And this is no knock on his writing because when
Not at all.
when he's really hitting it out the park, the man is hitting it out the park. The man is talented. He knows how to write. He's his comedic timing is great. Obviously, he knows how to deliver a joke, and his direction. You can't question that. The guy has a visual prowess when it comes to directing his films.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just in terms of it, just things are just a little too overly. It becomes satire at this point. It's like I don't want Thor to be a satire movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, but. That's all I got for Michael Waldron and Secret Wars. That was a lot. I didn't think I had that much to say, but I think I went off the rails a little bit. But that's okay.